All right, finite geometric series word problems. Just like the last assignment, but now we have words that are around the numbers. So we have to pull out the numbers and make sure we put them in the right spot. So each year, Francesca earns a salary that's 2% higher than her previous year's salary. In her first 5 years at this job, she earned a total of $187,345. What was Francesca's salary in her first year at the job? So they're looking for A. A is the unknown. We have the sum, we have the rate, and we have our N, our number of years. So here's our rate, our number of years, and our sum. Our A is unknown. I have them all written down over here. Okay, so first thing we need to talk about is this percent. Whenever you see percents, we need to change that number to a decimal immediately. We cannot use percents in math. So 2% is equal to 0.02. If you don't know how that works, ask me. It's pretty simple. You just take wherever the decimal is originally in the percent and you move it to your left 2 spots and we get 0.02. The other important thing to know is that because we're increasing, we want to make sure that we don't forget about our salary the year before. So we have to add a 1 out front, okay? This is like if I have $10 and I times it by 1, I still have $10, okay? That's no raise. But if I do 10 times 1.02, that's going to equal, was that $10.20? So 10 times 1.02. So yeah, 10.2. So the next day or year, however you want to look at it, I'll earn 10.20. So you have to add a 1 out in front. If you don't, it's going to take, it'll be the amount of raise. So it'll just be the 20 cents is what we left over. So make sure you add the 1 in front of your rate. If you don't, you won't get the problem right. All right, now let's plug in all of our numbers. So when we have A out in front by itself, we're going to leave that as our unknown. And we have 1 minus 1.02 to the 5th power, 1 minus 1.02. And that equals 187,345. Okay, so let's use our calculator now. I'm going to do this entire thing all at once. Make sure you use parentheses where needed. I'm going to zoom in so you guys can see better. Okay, so 1 minus 1.02 to the 5th power. Close that top off. Bottom is 1 minus 1.02. And close that off. So 5.204, a lot of numbers. So instead of writing that all down, I'm going to just save this in the calculator, which it does automatically. So then I'm going to type in 187,345. So what I'm doing right now, I'll show you. So we have a number. Well, A's are unknown. Then we have our answer. Right, ANS to represent answer. I'll underline it. Equals 187,345. So if we want to get A by itself, we have to divide both sides by answer. So that these cancel out. And now A will equal what is over here. So I'm zooming in. We're going to do 187, just like we typed out. Divide by our answer. That is not our answer. That's our answer. So we get $35,999.91. It's not a lot of money. Round your final answer to the nearest 1,000. So we're going to round up to 36,000. Okay, next question. All right, we have a new shopping mall is gaining in popularity. Every day since it opened, the number of shoppers is 5% more than the number of shoppers the day before. So our rate is 5%. 5% goes to 0.05, and we're going to have to use 1.05 because we're increasing. The total number of shoppers over the first 10 days is 1,258. So that's the sum, and the n is 10, and our A, once again, is our question mark. Okay, so I have the numbers written over here. All right, so A by itself out in front, 1 minus our rate, which is, we can't see it, it's 1.05. Our n is 10, all over 1 minus 1.05. And that's equal to 1,258 people. All right. Calculator it is. I'm going to go a little bit faster on this one. So 1 minus 1.05 exponent to the 10th, parenthesis closed, divide by our bottom, 1 minus 1.05, parenthesis closed. Okay, we got a number. I'm going to put in 1258 and divide by that number, which is stored in my answer. And it looks like we have 100 people. Round your nearest integer, so you can't have 100.5 people, so it's going to be a whole number or integer. Okay, question 3. Vince went on a 3-day hiking trip, so it looks like our n's going to be 3. Each day, sorry, I'm erasing my board while I'm reading this. Each day he walked 3/4 the distance that he walked the day before. Okay, so that's the rate, 3/4. He walked 83.25 miles, and they want to know A again. They are really pounding A for us right now. So R is 3/4, N is 3. He walked 83.25, and A is unknown. Okay, that's written down over here. Fill it in. So A by itself out front. 1 minus 3/4 raised to the 3, all over 1 minus 3/4 equals 83.25. All right, so I'm going to do this one in my head. 1 minus 3/4 is 0.25 or 1/4, so I'm just going to divide by 1/4. Okay, so parenthesis 1 minus, I'm going to do parenthesis for my fraction, make sure that all stays together, and then raise that up to the 3rd power. Close off my top, divide by 0.25. I'm looking at that number, 83.25, divide by that number, will give you my answer. 36. So you hiked 36 miles the first day. That is quite impressive. That is, kilometers. Okay, so that's about 20 miles. Which is still impressive, but I was going to say that's a marathon and a half right there. But 26 is basically a marathon, or 20 miles is half marathon. Not half marathon, between half and full marathon. Okay, a monkey is swinging from a tree. On each swing, she travels along an arc that's 75% as long as the previous swing's arc. So 75, or 3/4, is our answer again. We'll do percent. So 75% goes to 0.75. And it is getting smaller, so we don't need a 1 out in front. We're not gaining 75%. It's 75% as long as the previous swing. So 0.75 is actually correct here. The total length of arcs from our first 4 swings is 175. So the sum is 175, and our n is 4, and they want us to solve for A again. Okay, so I'm going to come over here. I wrote out the problem. I'm going to just change the important things. So 175, 1 minus 0.75, 0.75 for the point, and 4. Okay. So the top is 1 minus 0.75 raised to 4. The bottom is 1 minus 0.75, which is also 0.25. So you get 2.734375. 175, divide by that answer, we get 64. I don't remember what the measurement was. 64 meters was the distance of the first swing. And it's right. We are done.